This podcast is brought to you by Voice and Vision, bringing help, hope, and healing to individuals, families, and communities affected by mental illness, addictions, and disabilities in southeastern Pennsylvania.
Welcome to Untold Valor, a podcast with a unique focus on veterans, featuring stories of courage, recovery, perseverance, and strength. Listen to hear veterans share their perspectives on what it's like to battle mental health challenges, combat addictions, and overcome other adversities unique to those who have served.
Thanks once again for being here on another edition of Untold Valor, Veterans Recovery in Action podcast. We certainly appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to our guest this week who is joining us, and it's Lily Thomas. And Lily is joining us from the Coatesville VA Medical Center. She is a Veterans Justice Outreach Social Worker, and we're going to talk about what they do and what she does, and if you need some help and how to get involved and all that good stuff this week. So looking forward to our conversation with Lily. Lily, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for being here with us. We certainly appreciate it. And, normally I do this show and I ask people to come on and tell us a little bit about themselves and just kind of how you got to doing what you're doing. So if you feel, if you want to start there, we can, or you can tell us what it is that a Veterans Justice Outreach Social Worker does.
Well, I am a licensed clinical social worker. I work at the Coatesville VA Medical Center.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here for 16 years now, and I started out as one of the suicide prevention coordinators for several years.
Okay.
And I transitioned over to the Veterans Justice Outreach Social Work Program in 2015. Basically, a Veterans Justice Outreach Social Worker, we're social workers, and we build partnerships with the justice systems and the community to connect with veterans at the earliest point possible. We try to identify them as quickly as possible so we can enroll them in the VA, or we can enroll them in treatment with the court's approval, of course.
So is this for veterans who have had some legal troubles?
Yes.
Okay.
All the veterans are justice involved in Delaware County. I cover Delaware County.
Gotcha.
I have three counterparts actually. They cover Chester County and Montgomery County as well as Delaware County. But my area is Delaware County.
Gotcha. So if the court has assigned something or whatever, then that's where you guys start working with them on whatever process needs to be done?
Yes. The Veterans Justice Outreach Program is actually a national program within the VA.
Mm-hmm.
And each VA partners with the justice system in their area. It looks different in every county, in every state, but Delaware County, we service any veteran that is justice involved, whether they're in jail, whether in their veterans treatment court, whether they just come to us and say, hey, we have these charges, we're not sure where to go.
Mm-hmm.
We try to set them up as quickly as possible with treatment to address the issue that brought them to us in the first place.
Gotcha. Okay. And I see here that there's a veterans response team. What is that?
The Veterans Response Team is a really exciting new program. It's fairly new, actually.
Okay.
It's a response team that consists of law enforcement and first responders with military experience. They are trained specifically to address veterans' issues. And what the team does is they connect veterans to the Coatesville VA or the mental health crisis responders in their area, or local service organizations, or the Veterans Treatment Court.
Mm.
The idea really is that police and first responders, they know the community well, and they come across people all the time. So what they're trained to do is ask the question, have you served in the military? Are you a veteran? And then as quick as possible, contact the VA, because obviously the VA is part of the team.
Sure.
Is one of the team members. So we would help to establish this person for treatment, enroll them if possible. And if not, we work with the community. We partner with the community to help them get the services they need.
I gotcha. And obviously having that new team there with experience, especially if they've served themselves, I mean, that helps, I think, a lot of times when dealing with veterans. They're a little bit easier to respond with someone who's kind of walked the walk and talked the same talk. So that's got to be a nice added bonus as well for helping that communication factor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea of it, actually, is it's veteran to veteran.
Yeah.
They're more likely to say what's going on, to be more open to treatment. We want the best outcome for the person in crisis. We want to either they come to the VA or they go to the mental health in the community. But the bottom line is we want to make sure that we're addressing these issues that brought them into crisis in the first place.
Gotcha.
And I have two counterparts that actually do the training, Rhonda Sanford and Scott Poster. They're both licensed clinical social workers. They work at the VA with me. They're actually responsible for training and putting together the teams in all the counties that we service at the Coatesville VA, which is Delaware County, Montgomery County, and Chester County.
Gotcha. And so you said this is a fairly new program, the response team?
Yes. In fact, we're one of the first in the whole country, like one of the few. I think there's only one or two other VAs that started it. My counterpart, Rhonda Sanford, is the one that started it in Montgomery County, and they're doing an incredible job.
That's awesome.
They really are.
Yeah. So hopefully it's a pilot program that sees good response and gets picked up across the country as well. That'd be great.
Yes, they're keeping statistics, so they know that they're really targeting people that have never been outreached before.
Okay.
I mean, we're finding veterans that never enrolled in services before, whether at the VA or in the community. We're helping them with housing and all kinds of things that they never had before with this program. So it really does work. That's
fantastic. Yeah, that's great to hear. You mentioned a couple times the Justice Court. What is that for folks who aren't familiar, and what is your role?
Well, the Veterans Treatment Court is also actually a team as well. It's not similar to but it is a team. It consists of the VJO, Veterans Justice Outreach, myself, along with an assigned judge, a district attorney, a public defender, or a hired or a private attorney if needed,
right?
And a court coordinator and the probation officer. So it's a team of us. And basically, the idea is the person, when they enter the court, it's a treatment court. So they have to have treatment needs, whether it's mental health or substance use disorder. And the idea is that they participate in treatment to address the issues that brought them to the justice system in the first place. Some people think it's a way out of their legal issues. I mean,
right.
It isn't really, in the sense that, yes, there is a carrot at the end of it, which might be their charges are held in abeyance, meaning they hold the charges until they finish the court.
Right.
And then they drop the charges.
Getting the treatment helps. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, or they get an expungement in the end after successfully completing. But they have to complete the 18 to 24 months of treatment. And that's part of the whole role. Everybody has their role. And what my part would be is the treatment end. I set up treatment, monitor treatment, and report to the court their participation and progress. Basically, when they finish, they've been in treatment for 18 to 24 months. And this gives them a real foundation for moving out and back into the community. It really does, because they've been sober or clean, they're housed, they're maybe working now, because we help them with all areas of their lives, because they get case managed as well.
No, that's fantastic. And obviously that is the carrot at the end of that stick, right? So that's certainly
100%.
The incentive to do that. And my understanding, Lily, is that the Coatesville VA, the hospital there, has a long list of inpatient and outpatient services veterans can access. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the inpatient services, for example?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first, we have primary care, specialty care like podiatry, audiology, optometry, occupational therapy, pain management, but we're really known for the mental health piece. That's what we're best known for. We actually do an amazing job. I do believe that. We have substance use disorder, inpatient and outpatient treatment. We have an amazing post-traumatic stress disorder program here at the VA. And again, both inpatient and outpatient. We address military sexual trauma, schizophrenia, bipolar, anxiety. I'm just naming, different types of issues. One of the things we do too that the community really doesn't address it as well, and I have to brag a little bit, because we have a great anger management program, And a lot of the veterans in Veterans Treatment Court, they have some issues with that. And that's what brought them to their legal issues and into the court. So we have an amazing anger management program and also a strength at home program that addresses interpersonal violence.
Great. Yeah.
So it helps the whole family.
So is the inpatient or outpatient assigned by the court, like the judge, or is that kind of diagnosed by you as like the caseworker and then kind of going from there, determining whether that's inpatient or outpatient?
No, it's not. Actually, what we usually do is if someone is in the court and say they have a substance use issue,
okay,
we'll evaluate them. And then we'll say, okay, it appears that inpatient is what's needed. So then I'll make a referral for inpatient, and then we'll go from there. There's certain criteria, like it's called SAMHSA criteria, and it's a standard of care. So most clinicians are familiar with it. So we would know ahead of time, okay, so this is an appropriate referral or not. Sometimes there's a fine line.
Sure.
And if they already have a treatment team, we work with the treatment team together to kind of figure that out. That is another benefit of the VA, that we have everyone right here. So a lot of times when I'm working with someone and they're in the program and maybe they're struggling a little bit, I can pick up the phone or instant message the psychiatrist, the psychologist, anyone I want.
Right.
And we've done it. I mean, and it works because we have the team all here. I mean, I had an example not long ago with a podiatrist, believe it or not. He called because he was concerned about someone who had an infection and he had legal issues and he was worried that he was going to go to jail and he would lose his leg.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a big concern. Yeah.
Huge concern. So luckily we were able to figure that out with him calling us, obviously getting a release and doing all the things we do on the back end of it before they go to court. We were able to help him so he was able to get treatment before he addressed his legal issues. I mean, that doesn't happen, I think, very often.
Yeah, I've talked with a lot of people across the country, and there's definitely not some of that synergy that you're talking about, which is great to hear that's getting better and better all the time in different places. So that's good. And I think that's the struggle a lot of times too, Lily, right? And a lot of times we've had people come on who have different programs and they're looking for volunteers or ways to help, or if veterans that are listening to the podcast want to get involved. And so it's not always court assigned, right? So there's definitely veterans who can get involved, or if they need help, they can reach out. So we can definitely put links into the show descriptions for that for folks interested or wanting to reach out. A lot of times I'll kind of end the podcast with a final thought or a parting message that you might have for veterans or loved ones that are listening to the podcast who know someone who needs to get help, or whatever the case might be. What would you kind of say to those folks, or any from the years you've been doing this? You talked earlier, you've been doing this a long time. Kind of a message you'd like to share.
The message I'd like to share is to make the phone call if you have legal issues, if you're justice involved, you or your family member, and you're a veteran, call the VA. Even if you're not sure you're eligible for care, you can still call us and we'll figure that out. And if you're not, we'll send you to where you can get treatment. But the bottom line is you're going to get better results when you get treatment. When you make that phone call, you can apply for services.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, that's the hardest part sometimes for people, right? Especially our veterans. And this is open, I would imagine, that when you're talking veterans, you're talking about veterans of any type, right? Whatever conflict, whatever you served, or whatever, if it's been years or if it's recent, right? It's
right.
Taking the action, it's reaching out. Sometimes that's just the hardest part, is asking for help.
Absolutely. And listen, sometimes people will tell me they've applied already.
Okay.
And they'll say, oh, I'm not eligible. And I say, the rules change, so you can reapply. And sometimes there might be other circumstances that make you eligible for services. I don't make that determination. That's why I always tell people, make the call.
Yeah, great point.
It's not going to hurt.
Yeah, that's a great point. Rules change, things change. So make the call and find out. And again, we'll have information listed in the show description this week if you would like to reach out. But at the end of the day, I think it's the genesis of why we do the podcast in general, is to share all different kinds of resources and stories that are out there of folks that struggle with these things, that deal with issues and wonder how to get help or where to get help, or things of that nature. And so at the end of the day, if you need some help, reach out to the Coatesville VA Medical Center and Lily. Again, we'll have their information in the show descriptions. Lily, thanks so much for being here and sharing a little bit about what you guys do.
Thank you so much for having me. I have one more thing.
Yeah, please.
I just want to add, you don't have to have legal issues to come to the VA. You can certainly,
absolutely,
if you're struggling with anything, whether it's a physical issue, mental health, substance use, doesn't matter. If you're a veteran, make the call. See if you're eligible for care, any kind of care.
That's a great point.
We have it here.
That's a great point. We appreciate your time as well. And of course, if you need help, again, reach out to Lily and her team, and we will put those descriptions in the show notes. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, Untold Valor, on whatever app you enjoy using, and maybe share that with loved ones or friends or family who might also benefit from the stories and the resources that we have available. Of course, the team at Voice and Vision put this podcast on, and we'll have their descriptions in there as well if you'd like to reach out to them. We appreciate your time, and until the next time, we will catch you here on Untold Valor, Veterans Recovery in Action.
You've been listening to Untold Valor by Voice and Vision. We hope you found the information and resources discussed today helpful. As always, thank you for listening and for your support. Remember to stay connected with us through our various social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to visit the website, voiceandvisioninc.org. That's voiceandvisioninc.org, where you can sign up for our blog and find free resources and information on upcoming events, webinars, workshops, and get support. You can also access our free help and hope guide for individuals and families struggling with substance use and addiction. If someone you know is struggling, please reach out for help because you and your life matter. Remember, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is available to you at any time by dialing 988. We are all ambassadors of hope and recovery, and if you want to share your story, please contact us. Compeer Corps is also looking for veteran mentor volunteers and veteran participants. To find out more information about Compeer Corps, please call 610-541-0790. That's 610-541-0790. You can find all the links and contact information for the resources mentioned on today's episode by checking the description and the show notes section of your app. Thank you again for tuning in and for your support. Until next time, this has been Untold Valor.